For many will come in my name claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. These are the words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 24 verse 5. How predictable it is that many have made this very verse come true by claiming to be the Messiah, and even God. Unfortunately, these people later faced significant consequences in their lives. Let's discuss 10 of them who claim to be Christ and see how they died in the most dreadful manner. As we begin, endeavor to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to encourage this channel. Keep watching. Number 10. Simon of Perea. In the ancient Roman era, Simon of Perea emerged as a charismatic figure claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus during the 1st century BCE in Judea. While historical records about Simon are scarce, he is mentioned briefly by the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus in his work Jewish Antiquities. According to Josephus, Simon of Perea gathered a significant following by proclaiming himself a king and savior. He promised to lead his followers to liberation from Roman oppression and establish a new kingdom. Simon's charismatic personality and claims of divine authority attracted many discontented with the Roman occupation and eager for a Messiah. Simon's movement gained momentum, and his followers engaged in armed resistance against the Roman authorities. They fought against the Roman legions and captured several fortresses in the region. His movement posed a threat to the Roman authorities, who saw him as a potential instigator of the rebellion. Simon of Perea was eventually captured by the Romans and brought to Varus. Josephus describes an encounter between Varus and Simon, where the former questioned the latter about his claims of kingship. Simon reportedly answered with arrogance, which led to his execution. His crucifixion took place around the year 4 BCE, becoming a martyr for his followers, along with 2 of his sons, who were also involved in the rebellion. The question arises, did Simon genuinely believe he was the Messiah, or was he a victim of circumstance? Number 9. Hong Xiuquan. Hong Xiuquan was a Chinese religious leader who claimed to be the younger brother of Jesus Christ and the recipient of divine visions. His story is intertwined with the tumultuous period known as the Taiping Rebellion, 1850 to 1864, which was one of the deadliest conflicts in world history. Born in 1814 in Guangdong, China, Hong Xiuquan was deeply influenced by his Christian studies. In 1837, after failing the imperial examinations multiple times, he experienced a severe illness that he believed brought him into contact with God and Jesus. Hong interpreted his visions as a divine calling, leading him to proclaim that he was Jesus' younger brother sent to establish the heavenly kingdom of great peace on earth. Hong's movement gained traction, particularly among impoverished peasants who were dissatisfied with their socioeconomic conditions and the corruption of the ruling elite. This led to a rebellion that lasted for over a decade and resulted in immense loss of life. The conflict ravaged vast regions of China, leading to the deaths of millions of people. The Qing dynasty, with the support of Western powers, eventually managed to suppress the rebellion in 1864. Hong Xiuquan's fate is a subject of debate among historians. According to some accounts, he died in June 1864, possibly by suicide. Other sources suggest that he was poisoned or died from illness. Regardless of the circumstances of his death, the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom disintegrated following his demise. Number 8. Jim Jones. Jim Jones, born on May 13, 1931 in Indiana, United States, was the charismatic leader of the People's Temple, a religious movement that emerged in the 1950s. Initially, Jones preached ideals of racial equality, social justice, and communal living, attracting a diverse group of followers. Later, Jones declared himself to be the incarnation of both Jesus Christ and God, further solidifying his influence over his devoted followers. In the 1970s, Jones relocated the People's Temple to Guyana, South America, establishing an isolated settlement known as Jonestown. As time passed, Jones's behavior became increasingly erratic, and his control over his followers intensified. In November 1978, concerns about the well-being of Jonestown residents reached a critical point. A group of concerned relatives and defectors known as the Concerned Relatives traveled to Jonestown to investigate the situation. Fearing exposure and the potential consequences, Jones orchestrated a mass murder-suicide event known as the Jonestown Massacre. On November 18, 1978, over 900 people, including children, were coerced or forced into consuming cyanide-laced fruit punch. This tragic event resulted in the largest single loss of American civilian lives in a deliberate act until the September 11th attacks in 2001. Jones himself was found dead, having died from a gunshot wound, though the circumstances surrounding his death remain a subject of debate. Number 7. Marshall Applewhite. Marshall Applewhite was the co-founder and leader of the Heaven's Gate cult, which gained notoriety in the 1990s. Born on May 17, 1931 in Spur, Texas, Applewhite's early life was relatively unremarkable. He pursued a career as a music teacher and also dabbled in theater. In the early 1970s, Applewhite met Bonnie Nettles, a nurse with an interest in esoteric beliefs and the paranormal. Together they formed a spiritual partnership and began teaching their unique blend of Christianity, science fiction, and New Age philosophy. Applewhite and Nettles believed they were the two witnesses mentioned in the Book of Revelation. They claimed that they were tasked with preparing their followers for a journey to the next level, an extraterrestrial realm of higher consciousness. They believed that by shedding their human bodies, they would achieve spiritual transcendence and join a higher evolutionary level. The Heaven's Gate cult attracted followers who were searching for spiritual enlightenment and a sense of purpose. Applewhite, known within the group as Do, exerted a powerful influence over his followers, convincing them to sever ties with their families, abandon their possessions, and adopt a life of strict discipline and celibacy. The cult gained widespread attention in 1997 when 39 members, including Applewhite, committed mass suicide in a rented mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California. The members believed that by taking their own lives, they would shed their human bodies and ascend to the next level aboard a spacecraft they believed was trailing the comet Hale-Bopp. Number 6. Enry Christo. Enry Christo, whose birth name is Alvaro Thies, is a Brazilian religious leader claiming to be Jesus Christ's reincarnation. Born on March 22, 1948, in Indial, Brazil, Christo emerged in the public eye in the 1970s, proclaiming his divinity and promoting his unique spiritual teachings. According to Enry Christo, he had a revelation at the age of 30, during which he received the message that he was the second coming of Jesus Christ. He adopted the name Enry Christo, with Enry allegedly representing the Latin acronym for Jesus Nazarenus Rex Judaeorum, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, the inscription placed on the cross during Jesus' crucifixion. Enry Christo established his religious movement, called the SAUST, Suprema Ordem Universal da Santissima Trindade, or Supreme Universal Order of the Holy Trinity. He gained a small but dedicated following, primarily in Brazil and other parts of South America. He advocates for love, peace, and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. He also promotes vegetarianism, pacifism, and environmental stewardship. Enry Christo often attracted media attention due to his distinctive appearance, including long hair and beard, and his habit of wearing a crown of thorns. While Enry Christo has his followers and continues to maintain a presence in the public eye, many view his assertions of being the reincarnation of Jesus Christ as unsubstantiated, and his movement as a form of religious eccentricity. Number 5. Wayne Bent. Known as Michael Travisser, Wayne Bent founded a religious group called the Lord Our Righteousness Church in New Mexico. Bent proclaimed himself the Messiah and convinced his followers that the world would end in 2007. His followers' faith was tested when the predicted doomsday failed to materialize. Born on May 18, 1941 in Texas, United States, Bent gained attention and controversy for his claims of being a messianic figure and his unorthodox teachings. Bent attracted a small group of followers who believed he was the embodiment of the Messiah. He claimed to have a special connection with God and promoted himself as the Son of God, or the Messiah of Westcliff. The Lord Our Righteousness Church, based in New Mexico, followed unique beliefs and practices. Bent taught his followers that physical intimacy, including sexual relationships, was a form of spiritual worship. This led to significant controversy and allegations of sexual misconduct within the group. In 2008, Wayne Bent faced legal troubles when he was convicted of criminal sexual contact with minors. The charges stemmed from incidents involving 2 underage female members of his church. Bent was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but was released on parole in 2016 after serving over 7 years. Number 4. Jehovah Wani. Also known as Eliab Masinda, Wanyonyi was a religious leader from Kenya who gained a following among specific communities. Born in 1924 in the Kitale region of Kenya, Wanyonyi claimed to be a divine figure and the earthly manifestation of God. He also claimed that Jesus was his son. Wanyonyi founded a religious movement known as the Lost Israelites of Kenya, or the 12 Apostles. He preached a syncretic blend of Christianity, traditional African beliefs, and his revelations. Wanyonyi's teachings focused on repentance, adherence to moral principles, and the imminent return of Jesus Christ. One distinctive aspect of Wanyonyi's movement was the belief in his divinity. He claimed to possess supernatural powers and to be the direct channel between God and his followers. His followers regarded him as a prophet and healer. However, Wanyonyi's claims and practices also drew criticism and skepticism from various quarters. His teachings are heretical and contrary to Orthodox Christian beliefs. That's why many have questioned his motivations and accused him of exploiting his followers for personal gain. Jehovah Wanyonyi's death, believed to have occurred in 2015, led to further controversy within his movement. Some of his followers continued to believe in his divinity and awaited his resurrection, while others transitioned to different religious affiliations or forms of belief. Number 3. José Luis de Jesus Miranda. Miranda was a religious leader known for founding the Creciendo en Gracia, Growing in Grace movement. He was born on April 22, 1946 in Puerto Rico and passed away on November 17, 2013. Miranda gained attention and controversy for his claims that he was the incarnation of Jesus Christ and the Antichrist mentioned in the Bible. Miranda taught a doctrine known as hyper-grace, or grace revolution, which advocated the belief that sin no longer existed and that believers in his movement were freed from moral and ethical constraints. His teachings deviated significantly from traditional Christian beliefs and were widely criticized by mainstream Christian denominations. His claims of being the second coming of Jesus Christ and the rejection of fundamental Christian doctrines led to his movement being labeled as a cult by many religious experts and organizations. Under Miranda's leadership, the Creciendo en Gracia movement attracted a following primarily in Latin America and the United States. His charismatic personality and controversial teachings drew both devoted followers and vehement detractors. After Miranda's death, his movement faced challenges and underwent changes. Some followers continued to adhere to his teachings, while others distanced themselves from his claims and sought different spiritual paths. Number 2. Apollo Kiboy. Apollo Kiboy, born on April 25, 1950, is a Filipino religious leader and the founder of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the name above every name, a religious organization based in the Philippines. Kiboy claims to be the appointed Son of God and asserts that he is the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. Kiboy began his religious ministry in the 1980s and gained a following primarily in the Philippines and among Filipino communities abroad. Kiboy preaches a unique blend of Christianity, claiming to be the Son mentioned in the Bible, who will inherit all things and bring salvation to humankind. The Kingdom of Jesus Christ, as led by Kiboy, emphasizes the importance of obedience to his teachings and the belief that he is the chosen representative of God on earth. Kiboy's religious influence extends beyond his organization. He has been involved in politics and has claimed to have influenced the outcome of elections through his prayers and divine intervention. While he has a significant following, his status as the appointed Son of God and the legitimacy of his divine authority are subjects of debate and skepticism. Despite controversies and allegations of amassing wealth and exerting control over his followers, Kiboy's influence remains strong. Number 1. David Icke. David Icke, a British author and conspiracy theorist, has put forth a belief system that combines New Age spirituality with elaborate conspiracy theories. Born on April 29, 1952, in Leicester, England, Icke rose to prominence in the 1990s with his book, The Biggest Secret, in which he presented a wide-ranging conspiracy theory involving reptilian shape-shifting aliens controlling world governments and institutions. While not explicitly claiming to be Jesus or God, Icke believes himself to be a channel for higher consciousness and has declared that he is the Son of God. Icke's beliefs and theories go beyond the mainstream and have drawn significant criticism from skeptics, scholars, and the general public. He has claimed that a global elite, whom he refers to as the ruling elite, is manipulating humanity through a network of secret societies and organizations. According to Icke, these entities are working towards a global totalitarian regime known as the New World Order. Despite the controversy surrounding his ideas, Icke has developed a dedicated following of supporters who embrace his alternative worldview. He continues to write books, deliver speeches, and maintain an online presence, attracting enthusiastic followers and vehement detractors. Each of these narratives presents a unique perspective on the complexities of religious claims and their consequences. They invite contemplation on the nature of belief, charisma, manipulation, faith, and the impact of such figures on both their followers and society at large. Did you enjoy this video? Which of these false messiahs intrigued you most? Kindly leave your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to keep seeing our recent updates. Thank you.